We live in a world obsessed with motivation. Everywhere you look, people are searching for the spark that will ignite their journey, the surge of energy that will push them toward their goals. We watch videos, read books, listen to podcasts, and follow countless gurus, all in search of that fleeting feeling that will carry us forward. And yet, motivation, as powerful as it can feel in the moment, is inherently temporary. It comes and goes like the wind, unpredictable, and often leaves us stranded when we need it the most. We all have experienced it, the rush of excitement when we start a new project, the feeling of purpose when we set a new goal, but very soon, that feeling fades. Life gets in the way, distractions arise, obstacles appear, and suddenly that initial fire that seemed unshakable disappears. This is where so many people fail, not because they lack talent or intelligence, but because they relied solely on motivation, a force that is never consistent. Discipline, however, is different. Discipline is not dependent on feelings, circumstances, or mood. It is the silent engine that keeps moving forward even when the emotional energy that drives motivation has vanished. It is the framework upon which every great achievement is built, and it is the difference between those who merely dream and those who achieve. Discipline is permanent because it is not a reaction, it is a choice. When you rely on motivation alone, you are at the mercy of your emotions, and emotions are notoriously unreliable. They fluctuate with your environment, with the people around you, with setbacks, with fatigue, and with the small disappointments that life constantly throws at us. One day you feel unstoppable, the next day you feel defeated, but discipline does not waver. Discipline does not ask whether you feel like it today. It does not pause because life is difficult. It is a conscious decision to show up, to take action, to do what must be done, whether you feel inspired or not. Discipline is what separates those who only talk about change from those who actually achieve it. It is easy to be motivated when everything is going well, when the results are immediate, when recognition is around the corner. But it is discipline that carries you through the times when nothing seems to be working, when failure after failure threatens to crush your spirit, when every fiber of your being wants to quit. That is the true test, the moment when motivation has fled, when excitement has dimmed, and only your discipline keeps you moving forward. Discipline creates consistency, and consistency produces results. Motivation might get you started, but discipline is what ensures that you finish. You can feel motivated to go to the gym one day, but it is discipline that ensures you go for months, year after year, even when your body aches, even when you are tired, even when you see no immediate reward. You can feel motivated to work on your business or career when the ideas are flowing and success seems near, but it is discipline that will have you sitting at your desk, making calls, studying, and taking the small, often boring steps day after day, even when progress is slow. Discipline is the permanent force that does not depend on temporary inspiration. Motivation is a visitor, discipline is a resident. It lives inside you, not contingent on the world outside. While motivation may bring a burst of action, discipline sustains a lifetime of achievement. People often mistake motivation for discipline because both result in action. But motivation is like lightning. It strikes suddenly, brilliantly, but vanishes almost as quickly. Discipline is like the sun, it rises every day without fail, providing the steady energy that life's tasks demand. Without discipline, even the most motivated individual will eventually falter. Every failure in history that you study, every business that collapsed, every goal abandoned can often be traced back to a reliance on motivation rather than the cultivation of discipline. Discipline requires sacrifice, effort, and sometimes boredom. It requires doing things you do not want to do, repeating habits that seem insignificant, showing up when no one is watching, and taking responsibility for your results regardless of external circumstances. It is permanent because it is built into your character, your habits, and your daily routine. Motivation will always be tempting because it feels good, because it promises instant energy, because it seems effortless. But those who understand the power of discipline realize that true success, lasting success, is never effortless. It is earned through the repeated acts of commitment, focus, and self-control that discipline demands. Every moment you choose discipline over motivation, every time you take the action, you promise yourself, even when you do not feel like it, you strengthen an invisible muscle within you. This muscle becomes the foundation of your achievements, the silent driver that ensures you are progressing toward your goals no matter how you feel. While motivation is fleeting and unreliable, discipline is permanent, unwavering, and unstoppable. It is the hidden engine behind every life-changing transformation, every career milestone, every personal triumph, and every dream realized. Discipline does not wait for feelings to align. It creates results regardless of circumstance, and this is why it is the true power behind success. Success is rarely the result of a single dramatic effort or a moment of extraordinary inspiration. It is built quietly, steadily, day by day, through the repeated actions that most people overlook. Consistency is the key that turns small, often seemingly insignificant steps into monumental achievements, and discipline is the force that ensures that consistency exists. Without discipline, the best intentions, the grandest plans, and the most powerful ideas remain unfulfilled. We often see people brimming with motivation, filled with vision and ambition, yet they fail to move forward because they lack the habit of consistent action. Motivation can lift you temporarily, but it cannot carry you through the mundane, the repetitive, the days when excitement has waned and life feels heavy. Discipline is what creates the momentum that carries you forward even when every part of you wants to quit. It is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be, and it is built one disciplined action at a time. Think about the most successful people you know, those who have achieved greatness in their fields. What sets them apart is not luck or fleeting motivation. It is their commitment to taking action consistently day in and day out without waiting for feelings to align. They wake up and do the work, not because they feel like it, but because they have made a decision to honor their goals. Discipline transforms ordinary routines into extraordinary results because it eliminates the reliance on emotion. We all know what it feels like to wake up feeling motivated, ready to conquer the world. But what about the mornings when the alarm sounds, the bed is warm, the body is tired, and the mind whispers excuses? It is discipline that gets you out of bed, that guides your actions when inspiration is nowhere in sight. Consistent action through discipline builds trust with yourself. Every time you follow through on a commitment, no matter how small, you reinforce the belief that you can rely on your own abilities. This trust is foundational, for without it, even the best goals crumble under pressure. Discipline is also the antidote to procrastination. The world is full of people with dreams who wait for the perfect moment, the ideal conditions, or the sudden surge of motivation. These moments rarely come. Life is unpredictable. Circumstances are imperfect. And waiting for motivation is like waiting for a lightning strike. It may happen, but it is far more likely that it will not. Discipline teaches us to act regardless of external conditions, to move forward even when progress seems invisible, to push through discomfort, resistance, and fatigue. It is the engine that powers consistency. Consistency, in turn, compounds results over time. Every small action, every disciplined step builds upon the last, creating momentum that can carry you past obstacles and setbacks that would otherwise stop you in your tracks. The person who writes a few pages every day, who practices for 30 minutes consistently, who works on their craft without fail, will eventually outpace those who wait for bursts of motivation or inspiration. Discipline creates a bee, and habits are the architecture of consistent action. The more disciplined your habits, the more automatic your actions become, and the less you have to rely on willpower or motivation to perform them. Over time, these habits produce results that feel effortless. But the truth is, they are built upon countless disciplined actions that happened long before success became visible. Discipline also protects you from the highs and lows of emotion. Motivation fluctuates with your mood, with external circumstances, and with the validation or discouragement you receive from others. Discipline ensures that your progress does not fluctuate along with these external variables. It provides a steady rhythm, a reliable pattern, and a framework within which consistent action becomes inevitable. This is why some of the most successful people in the world appear almost unstoppable. They have trained themselves to act consistently, to honor their routines, and to follow through on commitments regardless of how they feel. Every time you act in a disciplined way, you reinforce your ability to achieve long-term goals. You prove to yourself that you are capable of sustained effort, that you can resist the temptation to quit, that you can push through moments when motivation is absent. The cumulative effect of these consistent actions cannot be overstated. Small steps, taken repeatedly, compound into extraordinary outcomes. One disciplined day leads to another, one disciplined week builds into a month, and one disciplined month transforms into a year of tangible progress. This is the power of discipline. It ensures that your goals are not at the mercy of your emotions. It transforms intention into action and action into results. Those who understand this principle do not wait for motivation to strike. They create it through discipline, consistent action, and through that consistency, they unlock the extraordinary potential that exists within them, the kind of potential that is inaccessible to those who rely solely on fleeting inspiration. Discipline is more than a habit, more than a routine, more than a simple act of showing up. It is the forge in which character is formed. Every choice you make, every time you resist temptation, every moment you push yourself to do what is necessary instead of what is comfortable, you are strengthening your character. Character is not built in moments of ease or convenience. It is built in the moments of resistance, the moments when no one is watching, and the moments when you are tempted to take the easy way out. True character emerges when you consistently choose action over procrastination, responsibility over excuses, and perseverance over surrender. When motivation fails, as it inevitably will, discipline is the tool that shapes you into someone capable of achieving what you once thought impossible. The strength of your character is directly proportional to the discipline you exercise in your daily life. Every act of self-control, every decision to stay committed to your goals, and every instance of resisting short-term gratification in favor of long-term results adds a layer of resilience to your inner self. Discipline teaches you to delay pleasure, to endure discomfort, and to embrace the grind, and in doing so, it cultivates qualities that no motivation, no pep talk, and no momentary burst of inspiration ever could. The person who relies solely on motivation is at the mercy of their feelings. They may act when inspired, but they will falter when inspiration fades. Discipline, however, is not emotional. It is a conscious choice, a declaration to yourself that your character will not be compromised by circumstance, weakness, or fleeting desire. In the quiet moments of discipline, when no one is applauding and no one is watching, your true character is revealed. It is revealed in the decision to wake up early and work when the world is still asleep, in the commitment to practice, to study, to grow, even when progress seems slow or invisible, and in the courage to do what is right rather than what is easy. Every act of discipline is a vote for the person you are becoming. The more disciplined you are, the more your character solidifies, and the more unshakable your foundation becomes. Life will always test you. It will present challenges, temptations, and setbacks designed to uncover weaknesses. Discipline acts as armor, allowing you to face these tests with integrity, courage, and consistency. Without discipline, your character becomes fragile, bending with every gust of difficulty. With discipline, your character becomes resilient, unwavering, and capable of sustaining long-term success. Discipline also cultivates self-respect and inner confidence. When you follow through on commitments, when you honor your word to yourself, you prove to yourself that you can be trusted. This trust forms the core of self-respect, and it strengthens the moral fiber of your being. A disciplined person does not need external validation because they have built an unshakable internal standard, a standard that guides their actions, decisions, and priorities. Moreover, discipline strengthens your character by teaching accountability. It is easy to blame circumstances, other people, or bad luck when motivation fades or progress slows. Discipline teaches you to take full responsibility for your actions and results. It instills a mindset of ownership where every outcome, positive or negative, is recognized as a direct result of your effort and choices. This sense of accountability not only strengthens character but also empowers you to make intentional, conscious decisions that align with your goals and values. Discipline also sharpens focus, another essential aspect of character. A disciplined individual prioritizes what matters most, resists distractions, and commits to consistent effort toward meaningful objectives. This clarity of purpose cultivates a sense of direction and integrity, ensuring that your actions are always aligned with your values and long-term vision. Over time, discipline becomes more than a habit, it becomes an identity. You are no longer someone who acts sporadically based on motivation or emotion. You are someone whose character dictates action, someone whose inner strength and integrity define every choice. It becomes impossible to separate who you are from what you do because discipline has woven your values, your commitments, and your long-term goals into the very fabric of your character. This is why discipline is more than a tool for success. It is a process of personal transformation. It shapes not only your results, but also the kind of person you become, creating a foundation that can withstand the tests of life, the pressures of society, and the fleeting nature of motivation, building a version of yourself that is strong, resilient, and unstoppable. Motivation is a feeling, a temporary surge of energy, a spark that ignites your desire to act. It is exciting, thrilling, and often intoxicating. You feel unstoppable in those moments, as though the world has aligned in your favor and your dreams are within reach. But motivation is fleeting. It cannot be counted on to sustain long-term action. Just like a wave crashes and retreats back into the ocean, motivation rises and inevitably falls, leaving behind the same obstacles, challenges, and responsibilities that existed before it arrived. Those who rely solely on motivation are like sailors who set out to sea. Depending only on the wind, they may move swiftly when conditions are favorable, but when the wind dies down, they are left drifting, powerless, and uncertain of their next move. Results, on the other hand, are permanent. Results are the tangible outcome of consistent effort, discipline, and unwavering action over time. Results do not fluctuate with your mood, the weather, or external circumstances. They are the product of what you do every day, regardless of how you feel. While motivation might give you a push today, it is the disciplined actions you take consistently that yield results tomorrow, next month, and years into the future. Many people chase motivation believing that if they can simply feel inspired, they will achieve greatness. They wait for the perfect moment when enthusiasm fills them, ignoring the truth that waiting for motivation is waiting for luck. Motivation does not create progress. Action does. Discipline transforms that action into results. Results are the lasting proof of your effort, a reflection of your consistency, and a manifestation of your commitment. They endure long after motivation has disappeared, reminding you that you can accomplish what you set out to do, even when feelings are absent. The difference between those who achieve their dreams and those who do not is not the level of motivation they experience, but their ability to act in the absence of it. You can feel motivated for a single day and accomplish something remarkable, but if that motivation does not translate into repeated, disciplined action, the results will be fleeting and incomplete. Results are the accumulation of countless decisions to act despite fatigue, doubt, fear, and distraction. They are earned one step at a time, one disciplined choice after another. Motivation may ignite the fire, but results are the enduring warmth that continues long after the flame has settled. Understanding this distinction is critical for anyone striving for success. It is easy to fall into the trap of waiting for motivation to appear, believing that once it arrives, everything else will fall into place. Yet life does not work this way. Motivation may come and go unpredictably, but results are entirely predictable when disciplined, consistent action is applied. Those who have achieved greatness in any field understand this principle intuitively. They do not rely on feelings to dictate their progress. They act, they persist, and they maintain focus over months and years, accumulating results that compound and multiply. Motivation may give them the initial idea, but it is the sustained, deliberate effort, the work done, even when motivation has vanished, that produces outcomes that last. The permanence of results provides freedom, confidence, and empowerment. When you cultivate the habit of acting, regardless of your emotional state, you are no longer at the mercy of your moods. You no longer need to wait for external circumstances or fleeting inspiration to dictate your success. Instead, your results, built on disciplined action, speak for themselves. They are visible proof of your effort, tangible markers of your progress, and evidence that you can overcome obstacles without needing a constant supply of motivation. This is why results are lasting. They are the consequence of a system, a structure, a disciplined approach that is repeatable, reliable, and independent of external conditions. Motivation is unreliable, and to place your future in its hands is to gamble with uncertainty. Results, however, are dependable, consistent, and measurable. They accumulate over time, compounding like interest in a bank account, growing quietly until their impact becomes undeniable. Those who learn to act regardless of motivation, to stay disciplined when enthusiasm fades, discover the incredible power of results. They understand that lasting success is not created in moments of excitement, but through a lifetime of persistent, deliberate action. This perspective shifts the focus from seeking temporary inspiration to cultivating habits, building routines, and developing the discipline that guarantees outcomes, ensuring that your efforts are not wasted, your dreams are not abandoned, and your potential is fully realized. Goals are dreams with deadlines, visions of a future you aspire to achieve, but no matter how inspiring a goal may be, it remains only a vision until it is acted upon. Many people have big dreams, exciting plans, and lofty ambitions, yet they fail to reach them because there is a gap between where they are now and where they want to be. This gap can feel intimidating, overwhelming, and impossible to cross. Motivation alone cannot bridge this gap because it is fleeting, unreliable, and dependent on emotions that rise and fall. What truly builds the bridge between your current reality and your desired destination is discipline. Discipline is the consistent application of effort, the conscious choice to take the right action repeatedly day after day, regardless of whether you feel like it or not. It is the bridge that connects intention to accomplishment, ideas to execution, and dreams to reality. Without discipline, goals remain abstract like stars in the sky, beautiful to look at but untouchable. With discipline, every step you take, no matter how small, lays down a plank across that chasm, bringing you closer to your aspirations. Discipline provides structure, order, and focus. It turns overwhelming ambitions into actionable steps, breaking down complex goals into manageable tasks. This allows you to make measurable progress and maintain momentum even when the initial excitement of motivation has faded. Every disciplined action is a step forward, a tangible contribution toward transforming a dream into reality. It eliminates procrastination, excuses, and the paralysis that often comes with uncertainty. When you act with discipline, you do not wait for the perfect moment, the ideal conditions, or a surge of inspiration. You act because you have committed to the process and you understand that results come from consistent effort, not chance. Discipline also teaches patience. Goals are rarely achieved overnight, and the journey is often longer and more challenging than we anticipate. Motivation might make the early stages enjoyable and exciting, but it fades when the work becomes monotonous, difficult, or uncomfortable. Discipline keeps you moving forward during these periods, helping you endure the slow, sometimes painful process of growth, learning, and improvement. It reminds you that small, consistent actions compound over time, building the bridge step by step until the gap is fully crossed. Another critical aspect of discipline is that it aligns your actions with your priorities. Goals can only be achieved when your daily habits, routines, and decisions reflect them. Discipline ensures that what you do each day is consistent with where you want to go. It helps you avoid distractions, resist temptations, and remain focused on the activities that truly move you closer to your objectives. Every time you act with discipline, you reinforce your ability to follow through, to honor commitments to yourself, and to take responsibility for your results. This not only strengthens your bridge to your goals, but also builds self-trust, resilience, and confidence in your own capabilities. The gap between goals and reality is not filled by desire alone, by dreaming, or by fleeting bursts of motivation. It is filled by action that is deliberate, repeated, and unwavering. Discipline transforms intentions into achievements, effort into results, and plans into outcomes. It creates a predictable path, a roadmap that guides you from where you are to where you want to be. Many people fail because they underestimate the power of small, consistent actions. They believe that monumental results require monumental effort all at once. The truth is that disciplined, incremental progress is far more powerful and sustainable. Each disciplined step is like laying a brick in a bridge, and over time, the bridge becomes strong enough to carry you safely across the chasm between aspiration and reality. Discipline also cultivates resilience, which is essential when the journey is difficult. Obstacles, setbacks, and failures are inevitable, but disciplined individuals understand that these challenges are part of the process. They continue to act, to adjust, and to push forward, using every experience as an opportunity to reinforce the bridge they are building between goals and reality. This resilience ensures that temporary disappointments do not derail progress and that every setback becomes a stepping stone rather than a roadblock. In essence, discipline is the active principle that transforms thought into action, vision into results, and goals into reality. Without it, plans remain unrealized, ambitions remain fantasies, and potential remains untapped. With discipline, you create a bridge strong enough to carry you from where you are today to where you want to be, a bridge built with consistency, focus, patience, and unwavering commitment to your own growth and success. The journey to success is rarely defined by a single monumental act. It is the accumulation of countless small, disciplined actions, repeated consistently over time, that create extraordinary results. Many people underestimate the power of these small steps because they are easy to overlook, easy to dismiss, and often invisible in the moment. They believe that only grand gestures, massive efforts, or overnight breakthroughs can change their lives. Yet the truth is that lasting achievement is rarely instantaneous. It is gradual, compounding, and exponential in nature. Every disciplined action you take, no matter how small it seems at the time, is a seed planted for future growth. These seeds multiply in ways you cannot always see, growing quietly beneath the surface until they suddenly produce results that seem remarkable, even miraculous. This is the principle of compounding applied to personal effort. The idea that consistent, disciplined actions create momentum that accelerates over time, eventually transforming ordinary individuals into extraordinary achievers. Small actions are easier to sustain than large, overwhelming tasks. By focusing on incremental progress rather than perfection, you maintain momentum and avoid burnout. Discipline allows you to prioritize these small, consistent efforts, ensuring that you continue moving forward regardless of your feelings, your mood, or the obstacles that arise. It is in this consistent repetition that the true power of discipline is revealed. Think about the habits of highly successful people. They wake up early, they dedicate time to learning, they exercise, they plan their days, and they take deliberate actions toward their goals, day after day. Individually, these actions may seem minor, almost inconsequential, but over weeks, months, and years, they accumulate into remarkable achievements. What appears small today becomes monumental tomorrow because disciplined actions compound in ways that are invisible at first but undeniable over time. The concept is simple but profoundly powerful. Small, smart actions consistently applied lead to results that far exceed what a single large effort could achieve. Discipline is the mechanism that ensures these small actions are performed consistently without fail, even when motivation is absent. Motivation might inspire you to take action on a single day, but only discipline ensures that the action is repeated, creating a chain of momentum that cannot be easily broken. When you multiply small, disciplined actions over time, you are building leverage. Each action adds to the previous one, creating an effect far greater than the sum of its parts. This leverage is the hidden advantage of disciplined effort. It is the difference between sporadic bursts of energy that produce minimal results and sustained, cumulative action that transforms your life. The key is consistency. Small actions performed consistently create habits, and habits shape identity. When you commit to disciplined behavior day after day, you are not just moving toward a goal, you are becoming the type of person capable of achieving that goal. Your actions reinforce your identity, your confidence, and your belief in what is possible. Even setbacks, failures, and obstacles cannot erase the momentum built by repeated disciplined effort. Every action, no matter how minor, contributes to your growth and builds resilience. Discipline ensures that progress continues, even when it is slow or imperceptible. Over time, these small, repeated actions compound into results that seem disproportionate to the effort you invested. This is the essence of exponential growth. What begins as modest steps eventually leads to breakthroughs, transformations, and successes that once seemed unattainable. Small, disciplined actions also create a ripple effect. Your consistent efforts influence your mindset, your habits, your relationships, and your environment. They signal to yourself and others that you are committed, capable, and reliable. This ripple effect amplifies the impact of each action, further multiplying the results over time. Moreover, small, disciplined actions make the process of achieving goals less intimidating. By breaking down large, complex objectives into manageable steps, you reduce fear, hesitation, and procrastination. You create a clear path forward, where progress is measurable, achievable, and sustainable. This approach transforms overwhelming challenges into a series of small victories that build confidence, reinforce momentum, and maintain motivation along the journey. In the long run, the cumulative effect of small, disciplined actions is extraordinary. What may seem insignificant today can become the defining factor in your success tomorrow. Every day you show up, every task you complete, every habit you reinforce contributes to a future that is built not on luck, talent, or fleeting motivation, but on consistent, deliberate, and disciplined action. This principle demonstrates that greatness is rarely an accident. It is the result of countless, repeated choices made with intention and commitment.